Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chubby Healer. I hope you guys are having an amazing week because I had a rough one. I had a pretty rough week, and it's my birthday week, so feels really heavy. Anyhow, today's video idea and today's entire concept of the video is to trust yourself more and to just let the stress flow, to feel your feelings, to go into the depth of all of those feelings and understand where and why they are coming from. And if you don't want to dissect those feelings, just understanding that they are just feelings and not every feeling has to mean something. Because in the past 1 week, the amount of feelings, the amount of mental breakdowns that I've had, I really felt called to do this video. Anyhow, so if you're somebody who's feeling a lot of stress, who's feeling like, oh my God, what's happening? I thought I healed, I thought I did the work, I thought I did everything that was required, then why? Why am I still having these thoughts, having these feelings, having such dreams? Or for the matter of fact, why am I still feeling like this? Honey, realize this, that your life is not supposed to be happy 24/7. You're human. Being human means that you are supposed to feel all of the spectrums of feelings, right? And when you understand this thing that being human means feeling sad, feeling happy, feeling frustrated, feeling angry, it is only then that you start healing. If you try to avoid consciously and consistently a particular feeling, that usually does not help, that usually does not get you where you desire to be eventually. And the main thing here is that when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling like I have nothing left, you need to focus on what circumstance and what thought pattern is giving you that feeling. Because where do feelings come from? Feelings come from certain type of thoughts that we have. And where do thoughts come from? Thoughts come from a certain circumstance, certain situation that we are going through or that we feel we are in, right? So you need to stop giving meaning to every feeling, thinking that, okay, I'm feeling this because something is wrong in my mind. No, nothing is wrong in your mind. Nothing can be ever wrong. You're an individual. You're supposed to have your individual perspective on things, right? But understand this, that when you think that a certain feeling is overpowering everything that exists for you in your life, that is somewhere out of alignment with yourself, okay? For example, if you're feeling really sad, if you're feeling really down, if you're feeling you've got nobody, nothing is happening, you're just stuck in a loop, honey, what thought is giving you that feeling? Where do you think you're in a loop? Where do you think this sadness is coming from? What thought is there in your head? What thought is giving rise to that feeling? And once you go down to that thought, just see what circumstance you are in. Just be in the present moment. Because most of the time, our brain, when we are stressing out, we are not really in the reality, we are perceiving a part of this reality, perceiving some things that don't align with what is going on. We are actually in our feelings so much that we don't realize that certain things might not be even happening right now, but we still feel we are there, and therefore those thoughts come in. Right? So just sit down, see what circumstance it is, what situation it is, and see if that situation is actually true, if that situation is actually happening. To this, you might end up saying that, it might happen in the future. Honey, you're worrying about it. It is an irrational fear. You cannot tell what the future is going to hold for you. You can't even tell what might happen in an hour. So you saying that this might happen in the future is basically your ego trying to safeguard you from something that is not even happening right now. It is just the worst case scenario that you're thinking, because somewhere emotionally You have been suppressing a lot. And you have just been thinking about the worst case scenarios in order to come out of it, in order to deal with it. But it's okay, you don't always have to think about the worst case scenarios. You're not always in the worst case scenario. I mean, just make a list of all those times when you thought that, oh my god, this might go wrong, but that did not even happen. Right? So, when you get certain feelings, try to trace down the thought, try to trace down the circumstance from where these things are coming. And if it is an irrational fear, you don't have to criticize yourself. Be soft with yourself. Trust yourself. If you're feeling something, that feeling has a reason. That feeling is coming for you to see where you might still need to do some work, where you still might need to heal, right? And healing is not linear. It might trigger you. If certain things are triggering you, they are your portals to see where your boundaries might be transgressed. If you feel triggered, then it just means that there is a part of you that you see and don't accept completely. For example, if you look at a person who, just in a funny way, does not know how to use grammar properly in English, and that triggers you, okay? There is a part of you that might make mistakes while speaking English or writing English or while, communicating in English, and you cannot accept that part of yourself because you go like, oh my god, how could I make this mistake? That's so stupid of me. No, it's not stupid of you. Your brain is literally working like 365, 24/7 around in loop. And if you forget certain words, if you forget certain grammatical pronunciations or grammatical positionings, it is okay. Yeah, I mean, it is funny, laugh at yourself, but don't be like, oh my god, how stupid of me. That's just your inner voice. I don't know where you've picked up from. Might be your mother, might be your father, might be your friends, might be your spouse, anybody. That voice is talking to you. Don't be so critical towards yourself. Trust that you know yourself, you accept yourself for your mistakes, and you live your life fully, right? You don't always have to be like, I have to know what's happening next. You can never know practically what's going to happen next. It was only in our school days that we had a timetable, that we knew what was going to happen next, and that we were like, you know what, we know how to deal with it. But guess what? That is not life. Life does not go on like that. You have to realize it. You have to come out of that phase where you know that, okay, this time I'm going to do this. This minute I'm going to do this. Either you make a routine for yourself and you stick by it, or you let that expectation go that I'm going to know what's going to happen in a week from now. You never liked timetable in your school, right? So stop making assumptions about things. It's okay. Be soft towards yourself, all right? And the final thing is, when you have certain feelings, when you feel sad, right? What action are you doing in that moment? Like, if you're sad about not achieving something that you thought you would be achieving by now, what is the action that you're taking? Are you being angry? Are you being frustrated? Are you going around fighting? Are you cranky? Are you just like, sorry... Are you just shouting? Are you just throwing your hands, not doing anything, cribbing about it, complaining? I don't know what. What are you doing? What is the action? And what's the result of it? Like, where are you trickling down to? Like, are you in a loop? Are you doing that again and again? If not in the moment, might be in a day, might be in 2 days, might be in 3 days, might be in a week, a month, 6 months, a year, I don't know. What's the result? Take inventory of whatever you are doing, whatever you are feeling, and once you start taking inventory of all of these things, you start making those changes, okay? And once you start making those changes, remember to trust yourself. As I started in the beginning of the video, you need to trust yourself more, trust the universe more, and the chitter and chatter of your brain and the society and the culture a bit less. Because the society is following a rule book that was set ages ago. If you're okay following that, go ahead, do it. If you know that that's not for you, you're here for something more, you're here to do something different, you're here to experience something different, then please please stop judging yourself, stop criticizing yourself by the standards set by them. Because everybody is an individual with their own perspective. There can never be a right or a wrong. It can just be, okay, my perspective, your perspective. That's it. You might not like it, you might not agree, and that is completely fine. You can be vocal about it that, you know what, that's interesting, but I don't really agree with it. But you don't have to feel like, oh my God, you're wrong, you have to follow this. If you're doing that, then please work on your emotional intelligence. Work on your emotions first. You can't control people. Nobody can. Accept yourself for who you are, and you will start accepting people for who they are, and they will start accepting you for who you are. That's it for today. Have a great week, babies.